I'm just sort of musing this morning. This is really sort of for a few of my friends that I communicate with in Messenger, and why I love the Guardian materials, the Emerald Covenant, the Voyager stuff so much. Um, I sort of, how do I put it, translate this back when I was a child, when I mentioned before about teachers, or if you will, who we're learning from, right? And how much time and energy you want to spend on learning what, right? And what is it that you want to learn, right? So remember I mentioned when I was a little kid, I was on fire to learn. So that's sort of like, let's cut to the chase, right? So if you go to the Voyager materials, that would be the equivalent in English of saying, let's cut to the chase. Okay. In so many areas, they cover an enormous, a vast territory of information that relates to ascension. Absolutely. Right. So I was thinking this morning about past experiences that I've had and how that relates to future results, future memories. Because there was a beautiful video that I watched yesterday that the Voyager's material put up about the energy that we use to experience what we're going to experience next. I when I was a child growing up, I realized time is an illusion. Now you're into density and dimension and pre-matter phase consciousness, and then experiencing something that's in matter only because it moves at a slower rate of speed. That's when you're into the stealth code, flash point, right? The ignition point of a coil, a spiral, right? And so she was talking about, I worked with the Elemental Command, did last week. It's like communicating to every element in the entire Universal and Galactic template. Because at the end of the day, when you're an Oversoul Androgynous Polarity Integrator, it's all about balance between what? All energy, all self-awareness, everything that is alive and living in the cosmos that is aware of itself. So when I was thinking of the elements, for example, and the relationship, as I've mentioned a gazillion times, about between a tetrahedron, the function of four, which is a math, right? A four square crystal on fire. So, so now you're back to the function of fire, right? Or the function of spirit, the function of math. And so, because I was a firefighter pretty early, chasing the spirit of fire with the spirit of water, right? Cool colors. So when you think of a single element that is in grand abundance, you might want to think about the goalpost on a football field. H, hydrogen. The electrical potential of hydrogen, right? Because you realize when you take a poop, that's how it works, right? And I know that just by experience. If you want to means test it, right? It's one of the reasons, although I've tried to wean myself down off of it, but when I was a small child, I loved the taste of a coffee bean, the smell of coffee. I love the smell of coffee, particularly if it's those big gunny sacks where they used to have beans that were just brought up, usually from somewhere in South America or Arabica, or my favorite coffee happens to be Sumatra. Okay, the bean that grows in Sumatra, along with the kratom that I get out of those parts of the world, biovoltage, and so I stop.